I am about to go live with the Gap Project. Let's see. Do you guys see me? Go. Let's see. Always a struggle. Okay. Hello, everyone. You got it. There you are.
Hi.
Hi. Everyone, this is Caroline from the Gap Project.
Hi, everybody. So excited to be here.
I know, this is so fun. I'm so happy that we're talking and that we can tell everybody about what you and Adrian have created. I think it's so brilliant, and I really hope that people can check you guys out and what you do and start getting involved.
Yeah, me too. So you want me to just start with a little bit about us and what we're doing?
Yeah, that would be great. Yeah,
Okay.
I think just maybe explain what Get Acting People is and how you guys, the reasons behind why you started it.
Yeah, so thanks for having me today. So Get Acting People, also known as the GAP Project, the Get Acting People Project, is a platform that one of my best friends from college, Adrian, and I created about a month and a half ago. And so the GAP project is really an online platform and network for students. And we've created a quiz that allows people to take based on their values and stances on issues. And based on your quiz results, we have an algorithm that matches students and young people, Gen Z in general, with political campaigns that match their values and interests. So we have campaigns on the local, national, state level, from Congress to Senate to local House races to even the presidential campaign. And so we're really like the dating app of political campaigns. And we just want to make getting involved in politics and campaigning as easy as possible for as many people as possible. So that's really where the idea came from. I have been fortunate enough to work on a few campaigns myself, and so has my partner, Adrian. And so we've been really lucky to work on campaigns, but we've found that the political ecosystem is often hard to penetrate if you don't know the right people. So we want to break down all the barriers of entry into politics and make it as accessible as possible. And our ultimate goal is to really increase the representation of historically underrepresented groups in politics. So young people, first and foremost, the majority of our politicians are over the age of 50. Only 2% of politicians in Congress are younger than 35. And so we really want to get young people involved in politics. And more than that, we want to increase the representation of people of color, people in the LGBTQ plus community, people with disabilities, and women, and just all these groups that historically have not been involved in politics and not been involved in decision making. We want to support those candidates and get young people who match those demographics and have very intersectional identities involved in politics and make our representatives more representative.
I think it's so great. When I read about what you guys were doing, I was really excited. I went on your website. So for those of you who are watching, you can go to their Instagram page and then click on the website. And then basically, I love what you guys have created. It's like this series of questions, it's a quiz. So you can kind of figure out where your political beliefs fall or where they're sort of aligned. And all of the people on your platform, they are more progressive. They believe in equality and equity, in protecting the environment. So, but you have both Democrats and Republicans, correct?
So, like you said, we are a values-driven organization, and so we do support candidates that we believe will make our country more equitable and more representative of our generation and of our values. And so we don't align specifically with one party. We want to be able to reach as many people as possible. And we have candidates all across the political spectrum as long as they are promoting the values of our generation.
I think that's so excellent. But so what I love is like I encourage everybody check out your site and then go on and then you have this great series of questions that sort of goes um, like from status quo to furthering issues. And then you take that quiz and then in about a week you and your team you have an algorithm and then it basically sets um, you, the citizen, the voter to be, if you're 18, up with different political campaigns around the country. And you guys are expanding your base. So there's how many politicians do you have right now?
Yeah, so at the moment we have 20 candidates that we're working with all across the country. We have candidates in New York, California, Idaho, Florida, and like wherever you can think of, we're trying to expand our network there. And like you said, we have candidates who are in local races or national presidential races. And yes, our link, the link is in our bio if you want to check out our quiz
Yes,
at
I got it.
getactingpeople.com.
Okay.
And so, yeah, it's really intuitive. The questions are very straightforward. And once you take the quiz, we work with students and young people to find the candidate that's just right for them. And then we introduce them to the campaign and make it a personalized match and a really personalized, bespoke experience.
Um, it's very cool. It's very cool. I just like it because it's very user friendly, but then it also it's like I think so many of us I've talked to so many different people where they're trying to decide, do I go back to do I go back to school? I'm paying, college is so expensive. It's like,
Hmm.
why would you want to do it online? Like you kind of
Yeah.
want to be there in person. It's such a sort of challenging situation for young people and I feel so much for them. But I think that this is a great alternative. It's like, okay, and even if you do go to school, you are continuing classes or you're doing them online or whatnot. Like, I think it's a great way to get involved and to see sort of on like a ground floor level how decisions are being made and encouraging us to be like, let's just get our foot in the door. Like, I think on your website or something we were talking about is you're trying to create a pipeline so that young people who don't have as much access to get into the political field because a lot of times it is prohibitively expensive. Like if you're going to volunteer, how are you supposed to make how are you supposed to make
Exactly.
money? It only ends up going to a certain percentage of the population where it should be available to all. And so I think
Yeah.
that that's a really exciting sort of sector. Can you tell me a little bit more about what you guys are
Yeah.
doing in that sphere?
Yeah. So we are hoping eventually to provide stipends and scholarships for students to work on these campaigns because, like you said, it's so cost prohibitive. Politics is very insular and it's who you know, and it often is very hard to work doing an unpaid internship or things of that nature. So we're trying to fundraise and get donations so that we can provide scholarships and stipends to students eventually. And yeah, like you were saying, going back to school. So originally, our idea came out of giving an opportunity, a productive year for students taking gap years because the rate of gap years this year is growing exponentially, and then the rate of students taking classes online or part-time is also growing rapidly. I think maybe 70% of students will be either taking time off or going to school part-time or online in the fall.
Wow.
Yeah, so the number is crazy high, and we want to give students things to do during that time. So originally we started targeting students taking gap years, but now we have kids as young as 14 volunteering, people in their late 20s. So it's really
Hey, that's me.
become it's really open to anyone and just getting younger people involved in politics. And so all of our opportunities are virtual, so you can work remotely at your home in a socially distanced way, and people can volunteer. So we work with the volunteer and the campaign to find a schedule and opportunities that are just right for both parties. So some people will volunteer an hour a week and some people will be working full time for the campaign. So there's really endless opportunities of what you can do and how you can get involved. And I think it's just important just to do whatever you can, as little time as you can give or as much as you can give. It all makes a difference. And the only way that we are going to make sure that our country and future generations have equity and our environment is protected and there is racial justice is if we all do our part, and just one little drop in the bucket makes a change if we all get acting.
Definitely. Yeah, and I think it's also, it can be scary to sort of jump in and get involved, and it's also confusing. Like, I think it's not, it doesn't make a lot of sense where you think, oh, I live in Nevada or I live in California or I live in North Dakota. Why would I volunteer my time? Like, of course, it's very important to get involved in your own sort of like local politics, but also if you're interested in more national politics or helping out in a city that is setting a precedent, or that they really need help on their like sheriff's election, getting
Yeah.
somebody else sort of in office, you can help from a distance. And I think that's one sort of unique and special thing that we've learned from quarantine, is that you don't necessarily have to be in a place to make a difference. With technology and with everything. And I love that you guys set that up, that it's like, okay, these are your values. This is what you're interested in. These are all the candidates across the country who also share those values, and you can help them make these big decisions.
Yeah.
I think that's just really comprehensive. I was like, why hasn't anybody else thought of this? But I'm so happy that you guys did, because you're awesome. I'm wondering, let's see. I want to know, can you tell me a little bit about some of your favorite candidates that you guys have on your site right now that you guys are working with? And then I also don't know what time it is, and I can talk to Adrienne too, because I know she wants to say a few things.
Yeah, we've been able to work with, we've been so lucky. We've gotten a whole host of amazing candidates, and we've recently started partnering with Andrew Yang's organization called Humanity Forward, and he supports a lot of candidates with very progressive values. So we're lucky to have access to those candidates. I think two candidates that come to mind that I've really enjoyed working with that have been very cool. One is Suraj Patel, who is running for Congress in New York's 12th district. And it's actually crazy because that primary was June 23rd, I believe, and the results still aren't out. So
yeah, I know. I saw him on the ballot. I was like
yeah.
reading about him. I didn't realize they were not out. I feel like a bad person. Well,
Yeah, so it's really crazy that, because of, even in New York, where you wouldn't expect to hear about voter enfranchisement and things like that, because there were so many absentee ballots, and
yeah, tell me
because it
about it.
was,
Such a pain in the butt to get it
yeah,
on. Like, it is, they make it so difficult and so complicated, and time frames, especially trying to mail things now with COVID. It's just like, it's such a frustrating process. It shouldn't have to be that hard. They don't want people, they don't want people to get involved. It's
yeah,
really obnoxious.
exactly. So that was also a reason that we thought that the GAP project would be so influential at this moment in time and so important, is because, like you were just saying, it's so hard to just even vote. And as long as we can make these systems that are in place as easy as possible to use, then once we're a little bit older, I think, I forget, you have to be 30 to be in the Senate, maybe,
Yeah,
but
it's like
once
31 or something.
I
Yeah.
forget the exact number, but once we're a little bit older, and if our generation has already been politically active, then we can really start to see change being made. So I think it starts right now, and it starts with getting people involved on the ground floor, making it a habit to vote, to be politically active, to know what's going on in your community and across the country, so that down the line, we're laying the foundation for 10 years from now, when people our age are old enough to be in Congress and to run for president. So as long as we're starting the work now, it'll have huge ripple effects for the rest of our lives.
Yeah, totally. I completely agree. 100%. Is there anything else you want to say, or should we switch over to
Yeah, we can let
Adrian?
Adrienne take it from here.
Okay.
My partner, Adrienne, co-founder, best friend from college, will tell you guys a little bit more about the Gap Project. Thanks so much for having me. This was so fun.
Awesome. Yay.
Yay.
Okay, should I end this and then is she going on again? Should I just like re-invite
Yeah,
her?
sure. That
Cool.
sounds perfect.
Sounds good.
Bye.
Stay tuned. Bye. It was good talking with you. All right. Oh. Remove. All right. Stay tuned. We have more coming. Let's see. At the Gap Project. No. Wait. You guys, this is embarrassing. How's everyone's Sunday? I'm waiting for Adrienne to jump on. She is coming. Do you guys have any questions about the organization while we're waiting for Adrienne to jump on? Let's see. Am I missing her? Let's see. How much, somebody asked if you're on a visa, can you help? That is a really great question. I would imagine so. Yes. I mean, you can't necessarily vote because you're not a registered citizen, but you can volunteer on different political campaigns. You can definitely help with that. There we go. Here she comes. Let's see. Any other questions in the meantime? Hello, Brazil. Waiting for other, but that was a really good question. Thank you for asking. Argentina. Hello. We'll just wait in the meantime. Just wondering if everyone is voted. You can register to vote. It's important. Hello, Colombia. Let's see. I don't know. Let me text her. The organization is called Get Acting People. And they're in my stories if you want to check them out. Is unable to join. Okay. It says unable to join. Okay. I'm gonna send it one more time. Thank you guys for, you know what? I'm gonna end this and then restart again. So stay tuned.